Dude, my dad used to be a preacher for like a few years, and I guess 3 or 4. And then also, like, I've gone to church, like, growing up, like, 3 times a week. Like, on Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday. We would be at every gospel meeting, everything. And my dad was a preacher, and for 3 or 4 years in my, like, high school years, like I guess in 8th, 9th, 10th, maybe some of 11th grade, which he had always been like a guest speaker at things and stuff. He knows the book, you know. But then my parents got divorced, and I was like, huh? You know what I mean? I was like, that's not what y'all have taught me my whole entire life. And nobody committed adultery. Nobody died. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, whoa. And so that kind of flipped my world upside down a little bit, because you know what I mean? I don't know. It made me confused. And like, I don't know. I didn't want to go to church. I was like, is this even real? you know what I mean?
So
like,
interesting, man.
dude.
I know that so many people go through a similar like change of perspective like that as you get older, and like sometimes it can draw you away from your faith or how you perceive things, especially with how big of an impact it makes growing up in church like that.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So, yeah, I mean, that has to be really interesting. Like, the people who are the reason that you were in the church in the first place, you know, now go against what they had taught you.
Right. And I mean, but to bring it back to the positive light, like I've come back around, I think, you know, but it took me, it's taken me till recently, you know, and it's weird, man. And then I don't know. So it took me a while to come back around, I guess. And I mean, I'm still not exactly where I want to be or thought that I was at one point, you know. But I think I'm on the right track to doing the right things and being the person that I want to be, you know.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah.
How do you think your faith has impacted your music?
Wow.
Well, before you answer this, this is Caleb Mills we have sitting on the couch.
Dude, we went straight in, bro.
We went straight in. Yeah, we talked about everything already. We were setting up the cameras and microphones. There's nothing left to talk about. But no, that's yeah, dude, Caleb, great to have you on, man. I mean, it's really awesome. After we can get into all that, but if you want to, if that's a question that you have an answer for, I'm just really curious, man, because that's one of the big things that we like talking about is. Where does it come from? Where does everything come from? Because it comes from different places. But I'm curious if your faith, and especially growing up, being so surrounded by your faith, and then having, kind of different motives and different perspective growing up. I'm curious if that's kind of shaped your music or how you discover it or how you perform or anything like that.
Well, I think it definitely has a hand in my writing, you know. And not all the time. I mean, I definitely ain't gonna say that, because I've written some songs that are kind of not what I would like to promote to the world, even though sometimes it seems like those are their favorite ones.
But you know what? That's real, because you're not the only person that is tied down in their faith that also likes to sing songs about like friggin' SURVIVE, baby.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing that I think is so admirable, like it's like with you and your character as well as country music in general, is like these things can coexist, man.
Yeah.
Like you can live both and be a part of both of these things, because the way that I see it is if your faith is a really big part of your life, then it's going to show itself in different ways. And the way that I see it, whatever's going on, God's going to be excited about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, yeah.
well, authenticity is good on both sides. You know, on your faith side and on your music side. So, anyways, yeah, back to the question. Yeah, like, how do you think your faith's impacted your music?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it has, in lots of ways. Whether like, I mean, even like a song like Church Pew, you know,
Right. Dude.
you know what I mean? Like
Oh
that.
my gosh, I love that song.
That
man.
song is, I mean, sometimes if I go back to like, the church where I like grew up, like I actually went there Sunday night and I was so nervous. I was so nervous, like walking. I don't know. It makes me like, when I go in there, I'm like, oh no, are these people gonna be like this guy freaking, you know what I mean? This freaking music guy singing, talking about stoned in a church pew. He's walking in the church building. But dude, it's not like that. I mean, so the nicest people when they talk to me and they're like, we're watching you and you're doing great. You know what I mean? Like
Awesome.
it's all positive stuff. You know, that's just ridiculous stuff in the back of my mind. And you know, but even with a song like that, I mean, that's real. Like there's been times, man, where I freaking walked into church after freaking sleeping for an hour and a half, I mean, still, you could smell me. I mean, you know, and that's not what I want to do or be. You know what I mean? But at one time, I mean, that was a thing. And
Well, rather you still be there though, right? You know.
well, yeah, you know, I mean, I guess that's true. But I mean, like that song in particular, like that I don't know. I guess something made me write that, you know. And I've had people. I had this one guy in particular with that song. He was like, I played at this little place. It's called Old South Clays. It's in Athens, Alabama, and they had me for a couple events. They have for the past few years, and I guess I played there maybe 6 times, about twice a year. And there's a guy that works there, and he would always say, like, he would always ask me to play something or be like, man, I'm keeping up with it, you're doing good, you know, all that kind of stuff. And he came up to me, I guess, sometime, it might have been the beginning of this year when I did an event for him.
Mhm.
And he came up to me and he's like, man, Caleb, I just want to let you know, I lost my wife, like this past year. And he said, your song Church Pew, he was like, I just thank you. He's like, I listen to it all the time, you know. And it's good for them, for people that listen, but it's also good for me to know that, like, I'm not the only person that feels a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Man, that's like my entire MO, man, is that's why I see what we're able to do. That's why I see it as it's a you could call it a gift for so many different reasons. You know what I mean? Whether it's a power that's given to us from somewhere, but at the end of the day, what we have are ways for not only ourselves to heal with songs like that, with Church Pew, like some of my music that I know that people that listen to my music as well will understand, but it's for the people that are also going through that, because man, no therapy session, no, like, you know, crazy talk with somebody can make you feel as seen as when you hear a song that just nails it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're on both the giving and receiving end of that, that's, man, that for me, for myself, that's what gets me out of bed, man. That's why I do what I do.
That's really interesting. Like, as just a songwriter, you know, not an artist, I get a very different perspective of, like, I don't have listeners. I don't have, like, the people that are going to come and, you know, say, like, the song that you sang did this for me.
Yeah.
Mine is normally like helping an artist get a song out that means that much to them.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm really curious, like, from that perspective, like, as the writer of these songs, like, you know, how did writing that impact you? And, you know, like, I don't know with Church Pew if you had a co-writer with that, but, like, do you think there's like a connection beyond that with the song for you? You know, how did it do anything for you, like, in your journey, like take you a step further, make you feel better about those feelings? Or
Well, dude, For a while, man, I just write songs, you know, like I that's what I do, and I've done it for a while, and like I start a song, I finish a song. That's it. That's my only thought when I'm writing that song. Start a song, finish the song. And then, you know, along the way, this line's better than that line. No, this is what I need to say. And maybe we should talk specifically, say you instead of she or her. You know, like just that, you know, those kind of things. But I mean, like, my thought was Ashley Gorley's writing a #1 today, so should I. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What a thought. Man.
So like,
that is awesome.
well, to be honest with my artist stuff, I have never really been like, okay, I'm writing a song for me today. It's been, I'm writing a song that's a great song that a lot of people will like. But typically, you know, if you're the one writing it, it's going to be a little bit personable to you most of the time.
Yeah.
And so like, I think recently I've kind of figured out, I think I know when it comes to the artist stuff, what I want my sound to be and what I want to say. But I think in the past, like, it's just been, oh, this is a good song. You know what I mean? Or, oh, people like this. So, with Survive, literally with Survive. So, when I wrote that song.
Great record, by the way.
Oh,
I
dude,
really enjoyed,
Yeah.
you know, in my prep for this, I really enjoyed listening to it.
Thanks, bro. But me and Caleb Lathrop, it was our first time ever writing, and we met and we start writing something. He's like, "Yeah, I got this idea," and it's like this real slow, sappy kind of a thing, and we're working on it, and we get like a couple lines, but it's just not going anywhere. And it's like an hour and a half, and he's like, "You just want to write something redneck?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that."
Yeah.
And so there we go. And then we wrote the song, and he's like, "Dude, we got to post a TikTok. We got to post a TikTok." Because that's actually how we found each other, was through TikTok.
Cool.
And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, we'll take a TikTok. Dude, we took a TikTok. It got 500,000 views that day.
Dang.
And so I'm like, oh no. And I like called my producer. Grady. I'm like, hey, we need to record this song
Right now.
Like, and honestly, I don't even know if I would have put that out.
Yeah.
You know, like just if that hadn't happened. You know what I mean?
Like, so you kind of let the fans almost guide you in that moment.
Yeah. But like, people love it. Why not share it? I mean, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I don't know. It's just one of them things. Like in the past, I don't think that like I've necessarily had my what I truly want or intend on doing. It's just always kind of been what's convenient. Like even my early stuff is like the pop R&B stuff, dude.
Which I had never heard until I listened to it on the car right here. Dude, oh, I loved it.
Dude,
I loved it, man. It's so good. It's so good.
Thanks, dude.
Everybody listening, please go listen to Caleb's discography, top to bottom. Because, like, dude,
Yeah,
you're gold, man. Sold my soul. Dude, oh, man.
You span
so
a
good.
huge, like, I mean, like, you hit so many different genre boundaries. Like,
And I love it. And you nail them, man. The
Yeah,
production
man.
with everything and your vocal delivery, man, it caught me so off guard.
and now,
it's so good.
meeting you and then
Yeah.
like hearing like the different edges of music that you touch.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, if I just met you and I hadn't heard your music, I'd think like down home center country.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you hit the walls, man.
Loved it.
It's really cool. Like I'm really impressed with your like actual musical ability to do that. You know, outside of just what your personality is. I think that's really cool.
Thanks, man. Dude, I don't know. It's just, I love so many different genres of music. Like I always have. And like my parents listened to everything. Like my dad was like rock and rap and a bunch of that kind of stuff, and then my mom was always on like R&B, and they would both listen to bluegrass stuff. My granddaddy played country music for forever.
Cool.
You know, and it's like, I don't know, when I was in school I was in choir, like, you know, so I mean, dude, I've touched all the things, and like I love them all. I just love music. You know what I mean? It's not about like I don't like genres, bro. I think like well, obviously I like genres because all music has a genre. But I'm saying like the concept of like the labels and you have to be this and you have to. We just slap country on me because I'm from freaking Alabama. you know what I mean? But dude, I do all kind of weird, quirky.
Well, that leads into a good question. How'd you get started in this crazy life? Like, what led to you doing this? Like, you get to do this for a living now. It's pretty awesome.
Dude.
What led
Hallelujah.
yeah, like what are your influences? What brought you into the music world and then really into the country music world? Like, what led you from, being a little kid hearing this stuff to now being an adult making it? Like, what's that journey? So,
my granddaddy played bass for a guy named Ernest Ashworth, and he's a Opry member. But like as I was growing up, my granddaddy, like something happened long ago when my granddaddy was an alcoholic basically, and he ended up that kind of made things go downhill, and he couldn't continue to play for Ernest, but he did like continue to do music and like had bands in Alabama and different things, and he even was in a gospel quartet and like all these different kind of things. And so as I was growing up, he was always playing and singing music. And then also like my family is Church of Christ, so everybody like they don't have music at service. It's just a cappella singing. So I always like was singing and like learned harmony and stuff early on and that kind of a thing. And we would sing at family functions at Christmas and Thanksgiving. We pull out the hymn books and like sing a cappella,
Cool, man.
So I was kind of always singing. And then when I was in 4th grade, I was 8 years old. Me and my buddy Chandler Moon, he was on my baseball team. We had this music class in 4th grade, and we were just messing around singing "I'm Yours" by Jason Mraz one day.
Love
Smash, great song.
Yeah, he went in that room that day and was like, Ashley Gordon's right number one.
That's exactly what he said.
Man, if you like really listen to that song, that could be a country song.
Dude, 100%.
It totally could be a country song.
It might be.
Yeah.
We need to put out a version. Put some pedal steel on there.
Oh, down pedal steel, baby. Little Mando. Yeah.
But no, the music teacher lady was like, y'all should do this. It was called Muscle Shoals Idol, because at this time I lived in Muscle Shoals area in Alabama, which is super like historical, like Otis Redding, freaking a bunch of.
I still need to make my way.
There's a huge, just how there's a Nashville writing scene. Like there's a big history there of country music writing too.
Yeah,
so.
dude. I wrote the other day with what's his name? I can't remember what his name is, but Austin Bohannon. He's from around there.
Dude, I met him at a round one time. I still need to go and hang out with him. Dude, he's crazy. He's awesome.
Dude,
he got me onto the Muscle. I'd never really heard much about Muscle Shoals, but he was talking to me about it, and that was what kind of led me into looking down there. Yeah. Dude, how long you known Austin for? He's sick, man.
Honestly, not that long. I guess maybe 2 years now. But I don't know why I hadn't met him before, because we're close to I think he might be a little bit older than me, and that may be why. But I actually moved from there when I was from the Shoals area when I was like 11 or 12.
Gotcha.
And moved to Hazel Green, Alabama.
Gotcha.
But no, he's awesome. But in 4th grade with Chandler Moon, the music teacher was like, yeah, y'all should try out for this Muscle Shoals Idol thing. And it was with the school or whatever. And so we auditioned after school one day, and they were like, yeah, we're going to let y'all do it. We were going to get to sing in front of the whole school. Like, it was like, whoa, the whole elementary, and the parents got to come. It was during one of the mornings. The day of, we get to school, Chandler's like, I can't do it. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do it? Like, I'm so excited for this. Like, this is, we got to do this. What do you mean you can't do it? And he's like, I just can't. Like, I'm scared. I'm nervous, whatever. But, I mean, I get it. We were children.
Rightfully so.
That's probably the most terrifying moment of his life at the time.
So I'm like, okay, well, I have to do it. Like, I have to do this. Like, I have to sing. Like, my mom would be really mad if I had been telling her I was going to do this for this long. And I'm not going to.
Yeah, hold up your end.
So, dude, I'm freaking 8 years old. I sang in front of the whole school, I'm Yours by Jason Mraz.
Love, just a cappella?
Well, we had like a karaoke backing track kind of a thing.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
So that was like the first time that I sang just me, like, in front of like a lot of people. But I mean, there was a few hundred people. I mean, it was elementary school and parents, and so that was the first time like that I sang in front of people. And then
how'd they receive you? I'm curious. Like,
well, it felt like they loved it, but I mean, they may have hated it, but well, it's also, everybody loves an 8-year-old kid singing, even if you're bad,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You went and did it. You went and got it.
Did that rush? Like, I mean, I know from performing live, like, there's that rush. Like, it is like a drug. It really is.
Yeah.
It hits you so hard. Like, was that like your first taste? Like,
oh,
did it stick with you?
Definitely. I'll never forget it, dude. I can still see the gym, man.
That's awesome.
Dude, you're like 8 years old. You don't have anything to compare it to. So you're up there, you're like, man, I feel like I just drank like 12 chocolate milks, dude. I'm so amped up. This is the greatest feeling ever.
You're like,
jacked up on Mountain Dew.
First taste of adrenaline, dude. Literally.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Awesome.
I think that's such a universal experience, man. Is the elementary school talent show, and like it's so defining, man. Because what did it for me? Because mine was third grade, and I sang "In Color" by Jamie Johnson, my favorite song of all time, and I sang it, and that was the first time that because I played football and stuff, but I was never like one of the popular kids. But they all just like kind of didn't want much to do with me because I was kind of the oddball weird kid, you know what I know? But then, you know what I mean? But then after I did that, I'm walking around and they're all kind of looking at me different. And they're realizing, like, how come all the girls are looking at Cooper different now? And they're like, okay. Then before you know it, they're playing their recorders a little bit better in music class the next day. I'm like, man, this you got some power doing this, babe. Yeah, that's the feeling, man, is invoking that emotion. And I think that's one of the first times that showed through.
Dude, it's so cool. I don't know. I played sports like my whole life.
Yeah, that's another thing I was curious about because I know that you got some sort of background with it. Where does that start?
Dude, well, from being like 3, I guess. They had me in. My dad was like a baseball freak, man.
Yeah, all about it.
So he was like making sure, man. He used to make me hit. He cut off a broomstick handle, and he would get behind me and soft toss me pinto beans.
That's crazy.
If I could see that ball and hit the pinto bean, bro, he made me do that till my hands was raw.
That's crazy,
dude.
Wow, man, that's a hell of a drill.
You can see that. You can see that big old baseball.
That'll teach you how to practice, though.
Yeah,
I mean, that probably taught you some work ethic quick.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Wow,
100%. But then once I made it to high school and stuff, I guess I quit playing. I didn't play football after my freshman year, and I didn't play baseball or basketball after my sophomore year. And then my junior year, I wasn't playing any sports. I'm like, I'm like, this is weird. I have to do something.
gotta do something.
So I tried out for tennis. Tell me why I won county.
Universal athlete.
Freaking shout out my boy Eli Lonis, man. With doubles partner.
There you go. That's awesome.
That's awesome. That leads to another good question. I mean, so in the music world, I've heard this compared a lot, and we've had conversations about this. But like the people you create music with and you play music with, oftentimes it's a very much a locker room feel. Actually, I heard Dylan Gossett talking about this the other day. He kind of said the same thing. Like the guys he travels with, right? And that his band, his crew, like he really compares that the likeness to a locker room. Would you say like you've got a good community you've built around you?
Yeah,
You've got that camaraderie with.
100%, dude. That's I think that's part of the thing, because when I first came here, I did what everybody does, like you speed date to find co-riders pretty much.
Yep.
And it took me a while, but I finally got like all the guys that like we write great songs, we can all hang out and it's good and we all want to like lift each other up. You know what I mean? Because that's one of the most important things to me, I think, is like being happy for other people's success. You know what I mean? Because, dude, I mean, if you have that group of people, it's just like the Morgan, Hardy, and Ernest thing, right?
Right.
Like they were boys. They've been boys for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like they basically just like, here, you have a number one. You have a number one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, there's not a whole lot of things you can do alone and just be successful. I know, like, I mean, an individual has to do a thing, but you need a team, and you need friends, and you need people that believe in you. You know what I mean? And
Takes a village.
that's so important. And it is like you were saying, like the locker room, like camaraderie kind of thing. Like that's real. What does Joe Rogan always talk about? Having a tribe. Like, dude, that's real.
It's
man.
totally real.
It's so real. So
yeah, that's one thing that, like, personally, because I've only been in Nashville for about a year. And I think it's so hard because, like, when you say the speed dating to find co-riders thing, there's so much validity to that. And obviously, I look forward to every single co-ride that I have. But then sometimes if there isn't that genuine connection, at least via email before you meet the person, you know what I mean? Like if they say something weird via like over text or DM or something like that, and you're going into whatever it is that you're going into, like, okay, well, we'll see how this goes. But you know how it is. Sometimes you end up meeting a dog at Red Door, and
our story is freaking crazy.
It's wild, man.
well, I want to hear it.
Yeah, we'll give it the synopsis because I don't know how much.
So I was sitting there,
selling turnips on a flatbed truck,
crunching on a pork rind when Uber pulled up.
Actually, he was sitting there. I pulled up. We were both probably a little bit inebriated.
Oh yeah,
as you are at Red Door.
Well, I had some buddies there, that I was going to meet, and I was walking by, and he happened to be sitting at the same table as most of them. So I already knew them. Skipped that. I just introduced myself to him, and what do you know? This dude spews out a freaking song title like right on the spot, and so I was like, I'm throwing that in my notes, and well, long story short, like, I don't remember getting home that night, but we both got home that night. And
important thing, I thought his name was Cooper too, until he put his name in my phone or texted me your name, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was deploying with the military not long after that, and so like, had a few more weeks of just playing rounds around town. Kind of forgot about that interaction, and went deployed. Come May, I came back into town, and I was going through my notes, prepping for some co-writes I had planned after getting back, and I saw that note. The title was Bigger in Texas, but underneath it said Better in Tennessee, and so that was our first write. Was that song we
Dude, that
come up
song
with
is
November?
A freaking jam, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, but I just had this man over, and we sat on my porch out there, and
we wrote that one. We went to you came over to my place.
Oh yeah,
and we were smoking your hand rolled cigarettes and your Qatari Marlboros out on my patio.
Oh,
just
yeah.
spitball. Like that was one of the reasons that was so amazing is that was one of the first experiences that I had in a co-write where it's just you get that where it's just back and forth. What is bigger in Texas but better in Tennessee? And we're just like it's just nicotine fueled, like just pure, like the sound never quit coming out. We're typing on our phones as fast as we possibly can. Go into the couch we had in the garage.
Yeah,
sat on there and wrote out the song, and like that was my first experience. Really getting to have my first time getting to have that experience.
And pretty much since then, I've seen you every week that we've both been in town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
I mean, it was like that.
That's awesome.
It's
dude.
so sick. So going back to like we talk about finding your tribe thing, that's one reason why we're able to start this podcast. We do the demo studio, we do everything, because like Hooper's a dog, man. When
Yeah.
you find your dogs, it's like it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. That's why I'm glad to hear that you found that people, you found that crew. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't do it alone, man. You definitely can't do it alone.
Yeah, and yeah, it's important. I really think it is. It's important.
Yeah.
I think so.
Awesome.
You've talked about your family, and before we got rolling, you mentioned your girlfriend. I would assume that's part of your tribe too, and it's pretty important. And
Yeah.
I'd say maybe some motivation for some songs.
Shout out.
she's a sweetheart, man. She's awesome.
Dude, oh yeah, you got to meet her. At,
I went down
Moe's.
to Moe's. Yeah, well, I went down there, and I forgot a mic stand, so we had to go to Guitar Center and buy a mic stand. And she said it was the first words that were out of her mouth, and I can't remember what it was. But you're driving to Guitar Center and you're going on and on about something, and God, it's totally slipping me. But whatever it was, I'm like, oh my God, she's awesome.
Dude, she keeps me in check.
That's
for
awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Cause if I remember right, she's like an artist, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Dude, she's friggin' painter, drawer.
Wow.
She's just like a super creative person. She can sing. She can dance. She can do everything. Like, she can do all the things I wish I was good at too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
She actually was painting a mural yesterday at her family. Her dad and her stepmom, they own like a daycare in Athens, and she actually used to work at that daycare for a long time. But now that she's trying to do the art thing like as a career, they're letting her like paint murals at the daycare, like for the kids. Kids have a huge imagination, like
Right.
and so she's doing like in their kind of like playground area. It's like the barber shop or the fire department, or
Yeah.
like the bakery, like and then
That's awesome.
I don't know. It's just really cool, and that's one thing I love about her. She loves kids, and that's important for somebody who wants to have a family.
That's awesome. God, it made my childhood daycare had a picture of LeVar Burton on one wall and like 20 old pizza boxes, or like pizza boxes from Domino's or something like that in one thing. So those were the two things you could do at my daycare, was look and wish that you were watching Reading Rainbow, or pretend to be selling pizzas with a bunch of pizza boxes. That's all we had. And then a bunch of like scooters and stuff outside that are like only had one wheel on them.
Oh my
Like,
God.
man, I mean, Godspeed and all the love in the world to the people that worked in my childhood daycare. But man, that place was a little rough around the edges.
Dude, my daycare, I went to this place Mother's Day out. It was at the church I was going to at the time.
Yeah.
And it was one of the best experiences of my life. The principal there, her name's Miss Norma, and she was very formative in my life. I mean, just taught me what true kindness was. The kids, on the other hand, did not. Most of my first memories there are like getting in fights. There's this one dude, his name's Charles, and there's another Charles that was there that if he hears this, it's not him, it's the other one. But he bit the girl I had a crush on at the time.
Oh
He
no!
bit her?
Yeah, we're like 4.
Game over.
Dude, I wailed on this kid. I wailed on this kid.
go.
At the time, I had this obsession with Go-Gurt, right? Like
Go-Gurt.
right? I loved it. It was my favorite snack. But I called it Gogi.
Yeah.
And any
Gogi.
yogurt. I called any yogurt Gogi. But Miss Norma knew I just love this yogurt, and so my punishment was I didn't get yogurt that day, and I was pissed. I was like barn stomping mad, man. I was pissed.
You come home. Hooper, why are you so sad? Miss Norma took my Gogi. Had the worst day ever.
Yeah, no, but that fight with Charles, that was my first memory. Like, I remember this is the first thing I remember in my life is wailing on this kid because he bit the girl that I had a crush on. But yeah, and then Miss Norma taking my Gogi away, and I was not happy.
Well,
Man.
I don't know. I'm siding with you on that one.
Yeah, I'll side with you for sure.
Don't bite my shouty.
That's so crazy. Hey,
I can do that.
I hope that her first memory is that you stood up for her after she got bit by another kid. Like,
Do you have a girlfrione now?
I do, yeah.
Oh,
I do.
okay. Never mind.
Annie, legendary. Imagine if somebody bit Annie, dude.
Dude. Oh. I own guns now.
Yeah. It's also different being a grown man. I don't care.
You bought my girlfriend. You ain't living to buy me anything else.
You ain't buying nothing else.
Teacher took my gogie. Now they're gonna take my life away.
Walked out of there in handcuffs that day.
Literally.
Dude, that's so funny because I have a growing up Go-Gurt story too.
Oh, let's
and
hear
I
it.
think, okay, so give you a little bit of background where I grew up. At the time, it was like when we moved to Gretna, Nebraska, the population was like 3,000. By the time I graduated high school, it was probably about like 10. So somewhere in the middle there. But we rode the country bus that came and picked us up. Our school didn't start till like 8:15 in the morning, but we still got picked up at like 5:45. So like it's way out there.
I bet that bus was crazy.
Oh, dude, it's oh my gosh. So all the rest of the school got the fresh new, the big Bluebird with the flat front on them at the time, like 2008 or 9, like the fresh buses. We had our old crappy one from the 80s that still had the tan seats with all of the holes poked with pencils and freaking slurs written on the back of the seats all the way in the back.
Oh, no.
Like that's
how I learned so many cuss words.
Oh,
man.
dude, that's how I learned all of them.
Yeah.
But we had that. We had the Krabby Bus because it was the only one that had 4-wheel drive, and that was the only way that you could get out to where we were, like especially in the winter. But on this bus, so at any given time, it was only about half full because you only had a half full of a bus full of kids that needed to go way out there, but we had the amount of development and the formidable moments that I've had on this bus, and this being one of them for sure, is we just left our stuff everywhere because everybody had their seat. It was the same seat. There's only 25 kids on this bus, and everybody's stuff is just strewn all over because you know it's going to be there. Well, one thing that stayed there for, I'm not even joking, it was a month, was a Go-Gurt. And it stayed there because it was a country bus, so if you crack the windows open, especially like towards the beginning or the end of the school year, when it gets to be 100 degrees in Nebraska, it's all dirt roads, so it's either you suffocate or like get heat stroke, or you let all the dirt come into the bus, which you go for the latter, obviously, but that also means the damn bus isn't getting cleaned. So the bus isn't getting cleaned. A Go-Gurt can get forgotten about by the wheel well of the bus for probably a month and a half. Ugh. In, mid-May, April to May. This thing was there. There was this kid. His name was Brian, who he had he had a tendency to really get on the nerves of the older kids because this, it was elementary through high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but a couple of the kids, we're in like 3rd or 4th grade, a couple of like the 8th or 9th graders. He was just like, he had had whatever to say to all the older kids, and they're just like, okay, all right. Well, then one day, poor Brian said something wrong to this one kid, Ian, and he happened to be sitting right next to him, and I will never forget it for as long as I live. He said something. Ian reaches underneath the seat where the Go-Gurt is, gets into Brian's seat, and you just see the top of the Go-Gurt go over his head and then down and then back up, and it flings Go-Gurt all over the place, all over the back of the bus, dude. I didn't even know the Go-Gurts had that much yogurt in them. But as soon as you saw it, you smelled it, dude, it was so bad. And Brian comes out of the seat, is literally covered his whole head in Go-Gurt. He's crying. And Ardell, the most badass bus driver of all time. I think she's still driving the country bus today.
That's awesome.
But she comes back, and I heard her say maybe 30 words her entire time. She stops the bus and looks into the mirror and pulls it over and looks back and looks at Ian and goes, "What in the hell were you thinking? Getting your stinky yogurt all over my bus. Here's a roll of paper towels. If this isn't all gone, I will throw you by the back of your neck into the principal's office when we get back. She was so fired up, walking back down the bus. You goddamn country kids got no manners. But she's sitting mumbling, I can't get damn fucking thing done with the kids around. And she's driving away.
Dude, shout out bus drivers, man.
Shout out to dude.
Because, dude, they go through some crap, bro.
They go through the worst of humanity.
Mr. Wanda
dude.
Perry, thank you so much for carrying me around.
Ardell Savage, you are the greatest to ever exist.
Dude, I had Miss Wanda for a while, and she actually taught my sister how to ride horses, which is pretty cool. We had horses growing up, but my sister wanted to, like, really learn, especially like competition horse riding. And Miss Wanda was our bus driver. I remember we just ride home with her to her house at the end of the day, go ride horses, and Mom pick us up later.
Dude, my freaking dad started driving a bus.
Really?
And I'll tell you something funny about my dad. Well, I guess it's funny. There's a lot of funny things. He has a lot of funny stories. I have a lot of funny stories about him. But you were talking about, FedEx, right? Mm-hmm. Before we got on here. So my dad worked at FedEx. And this is all. He also worked as a bus driver. I'll tell you both because they're both hilarious. Mm-hmm. But when he worked at FedEx, something happened. And I don't remember exactly what it was. But he was very unhappy. And my dad prefers to be in charge of whatever his work is. He don't want nobody telling him what to do. Because he did it for so long, and like, I don't know, and then he started working for himself, and then having to go back to that is like not his cup of tea. So, dude, he worked at FedEx, and he came in one day, and I don't even remember what happened, but the guy in charge got very upset with him and said, I don't know, he was this. I don't remember exactly what he said. My dad told me, I wish y'all should have my dad on the podcast. Now, that dude tell you some funny stories. But anyways.
Next time we have you on, you can bring him back.
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. That'd be awesome.
But basically, at the end of the conversation came, and the guy's like, leave your uniform or whatever. Make sure you leave your uniform or whatever. My dad stripped down to his underwear. In the whoever manager, whatever the supervisor at the FedEx office, and walked out of there in his underwear and his socks and boots.
That's hilarious.
And left the place.
That is a lasting impression.
That is a lasting.
What in the world? This man was like 50 years old doing this stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. But he also drove a bus. So
you mean to tell me he drove a bus in his tighty whities and his
no.
Yeah, imagine leaving FedEx, you go to pick up kids.
That would be a problem.
And now he's in jail. Oh my God.
One day he would come and he'd tell me all these different stories about these kids. And he'd be like, man, these kids are bad. He's like, these kids are so bad. I'm like, yeah, I know. They're all on their phones, and it just, it just seems like kids are getting a little bit worse as we progress.
Yeah.
I blame these things, but that's another story.
Yeah.
And so he would tell me stories, and like, he said certain stuff about certain kids, and of course, some kids he was like, they're the sweetest, and they say hey and good morning to them every time they get on and all this stuff. But then you also always have troublemakers on a bus. That's just part of it. Sure. And so one day these kids got in a fight, and that was a big ordeal. And he had to separate it, and then he had to call it in. And it's like as time went on, I could see it. Like he would tell me, and I could tell he was getting more frustrated. Something that me and my dad both have is we're not the most patient people. And sometimes we can get upset in moments when it's okay if you really look at it big picture and take a step back.
For sure.
But recently, after this fight happened, one of these same kids was like, that got in this fight, was doing something that Dad had kept telling him not to do. And so this kid said something to my dad, yelled something from the back of the bus, and he just looks in the mirror, doesn't say anything, and just flicks them off. Oh no, he's the bus driver.
The bus driver.
He's the bus driver, and he's flicking these kids off in the mirror. And so he tells me this, and he's like, yeah, I don't think I can do this anymore.
I'm not cut out to be a bus driver.
Like another week goes by, and he's like, yeah, I turned in my resignation stuff. Or whatever. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. Because he said, I'm going to put my hands on one of these kids, and that'll be a problem. He's like, I can't do it anymore. He said, they're not mine, so... I guess, long story short, he's not a bus driver anymore.
That's awesome. My mom always, my principal, some of my teachers, my mom did not have a good relationship with nearly any of my teachers. I was a talkative child, and I caused a lot of issues, but the teachers never handled it well. But the bus driver was one of the people, and the principal was one of the people. My mom was like, you can spank him. Like, you're allowed to. I give you permission. I'll write it down if you want me to.
Same.
And that wasn't normally taken up on the offer, but there's a few times I know the bus driver definitely wanted to. I remember, so I lived at the top of a very long gravel driveway, and I'd get dropped off at the top and walk away down. I remember the bus driver pulling and parking in the driveway and telling me to bring my mom back up so she could talk to her. And my mom wasn't there, so I walked back up, and she was like, well, give me your phone number. I'd walked all the way down the driveway and back up. This lady had been waiting for 20 minutes just to get the phone number and get me in trouble, keeping other kids on the bus. She was that pissed at me. And so I wasn't supposed to ride that bus like the next week. I was like suspended from the bus or whatever. And so I don't remember if I actually got to go back on the bus the next week or not, but the entire rest of my entire schooling at that elementary school, that bus driver would not say a word to me. She hated my guts.
Oh.
She hated my guts. I felt so bad too because I was the good morning kid. I adored her. She was nice. I just also happened to be talkative and a troublemaker. Yeah. So, I liked her though. It was other kids that
I was a terrible kid, dude. I was a bad kid.
Did y'all have red, yellow, green card?
Oh yeah.
I had to flip my card one time, and I'm pretty sure I cried myself to sleep that night.
No, I was total opposite. My teacher, Miss Bargo, she's awesome. She was my kindergarten teacher. It got to the point where she'd send a letter home if I got a green card, not if I got a red card. Because I was pulling cards that often.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know all about that.
Yeah.
Caleb was so good this week.
Yeah, getting a letter sent home because you did good.
Yeah,
he only bit 4 kids yesterday.
Dude, I'll tell y'all a story. I have plenty, but there's one that's there's something I don't even want to tell you. I was bad, bro. Until I got to 6th grade, 7th grade. Then I was a little bit better, but I don't know, man. I was just a bad kid growing up. But this one time in particular, I think I was in, I don't know, it might have been 1st grade. I think it was 1st grade. We were in class. I went to this place it was Mars Hill Bible School. This is before I went to McBride Elementary in Muscle Shoals.
Sounds like not a good place to be a bad kid.
Oh, you're right about that.
A little old school.
Dude, and we were going to watch a movie that day, right? Mm-hmm. And but the teacher was like, everybody, we got to finish our work. We got to do this. Everybody be quiet and do the thing, and then once everybody's done, we'll get to watch this movie. And it was I think it might have been around Christmas or some kind of a holiday, and so we were about to be gone, weren't even gonna have to go to school. So we're doing this work or whatever, and I end up talking, and the teacher she's doing something somewhere else. She turns around and is like, who is that talking? I ain't saying it's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't do that.
This kid that's either sitting by me or at the table beside us is it was Caleb.
Right away.
Snitch.
Brother snitched on me, dude. I mean, in a heartbeat.
No hesitation.
He wanted to watch that
Cold.
movie.
You wanted to watch
Yeah, he was like, so I'm like, what the heck? And then she's like saying something to me. Anyways, I don't know what. It must have escalated because I got put in timeout, basically. And I was not allowed to watch this movie. And I had to face the other direction against our cubbies.
You had to watch the wall while everybody else
Everybody
watched
else
the
is watching a movie. I'm facing the cubbies. I'm like, no. This ain't it.
That's
so
tough.
as I'm sitting here staring at everybody's cubbies and all these backpacks, I notice buddy who went and told on me to the teacher, a little snitch, his backpack is right here. I start opening up his backpack, see what he's got in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got scissors. I took his scissors, and you know how you have the little net that holds a water bottle on the side? He had 2 of them. I cut them both. Dude, oh my gosh, bro. Let me tell you. So he didn't notice, I guess, until like maybe it was like the next time he came. I don't remember that. But what I do know is when my mother found out,
Oh no,
bruh. Dude, I was in a world of hurt, son. I got spanked. I got the whole 9. And my mama said, we're going to buy this boy a new backpack.
new backpack. You're paying for it.
Yeah, dude. And so, yeah.
Open up the pig bang.
Literally, I was a bad kid, man. I really was. But thankfully, I got better as time went on. I just talked way too much, like in school. You know,
I think that's a creative thing.
I
like,
think so.
that's what I got in trouble with more than anything until middle school. Middle school hit. I don't know what it was, but like puberty hit. I got chubby and I shut the hell up. But elementary school, I'm telling you, it was every single day.
Yeah.
It got to the point like I had an assigned seat in the back of the classroom, and my teacher taped off a box that I could walk in. She's like,
You're like a Roomba.
This is
like
your
set up
space.
yeah, just sit here and walk instead of talking, you know. And I would still like I like to answer the questions. I wanted to participate, you know, but I just could not sit there and wait to be called on, you know. And then like every other student, I wanted to know what they had for lunch. I was just asking questions left and right.
That's the worst. Like you have assigned seats, but the other people don't.
Yeah. Like what? Just let me tell my friends. They're right there. You know, they're on the other side. You're sitting there just like peeking over the top, you know. Like,
I was the teacher's favorite. I was the sweet kid. I didn't like causing trouble, nothing like that. But the trouble that I did cause is I wouldn't call it a trendsetter, but I was the first kid to hear about whatever the big thing was. Like I was the first kid to have like Pokemon cards and like the little Bakugan things, like, you know, the magnet things that open up. Every teacher hated me because as soon as they thought that they had a grip on like the Pokemon cards or Heelys or like those things like that, I would come in with another thing that they'd have to worry about. And they're like, I'm pretty sure one of them sent or like the Nintendo DS, when that came out, like, and everybody else asked for one for Christmas, the teacher's like, because you brought this thing into my class, now everybody knows what it is. I got to be on the lookout for kids with their freaking heads down playing DS or whatever, playing Game Boy.
yeah, we had backpack checks in 3rd and 4th grade because kids would bring all these toys in. I never got in trouble for it. I wouldn't. My mom was too. I mean, she wanted the teachers to like me, you know, so she would not let me bring anything like that to school. But I did have Heelys. I got to be a hall monitor for one day in 4th grade, and I wore my Heelys, and I was riding down the hall, and because like all the kids would rotate, right? But normally it was like a reward to get to be hall monitor because you got to be as part of class.
I know.
Right?
I never got to be it, and you only got to do it once.
I got one day. I'm telling you, 10 minutes in, they took it away from me because I was riding around on my Heelys, stopping all the kids who got me in trouble before.
Dude, that's so funny because that brings up, I got Heelys when I was in, I think, 2nd grade, something like that. Like soon after they came out, I saw the commercial and I'm like, Dad, look at that. He's like, all right, that's pretty cool. So he got me the Heelys for Christmas or something like that. But I'm in my art class and I remember because we had like a sub that day and she was like ancient, dude. She was this probably 80. I'm not even joking. She'd been a substitute teacher for like 70 years.
I feel so bad for old teachers.
Oh, dude, yeah, for real. But I am using I have my Heelys, and I'm being very, conservative about how I use them, make sure I try to keep them out of the teacher's view. Well, I go and go like next to a desk, and I make direct eye contact with the teacher, and she looks at me, and she sits down, and it's just like, and she's like looking at my shoes, and I'm like, oh no, I'm totally in trouble. She's like, how did you do that? And I'm like, well, these have wheels and I just scooted. She's like, hang on a second. She had to sit back and like catch her breath. And I'm like, what is happening? And she's like, I'm sorry. I saw you doing that. I saw you floating. I thought I was having a stroke. I actually thought that I was about to have a stroke.
She thought it was her time.
She thought it was her time. That's how you know it was bad. That's how you know it was bad. Is I almost killed this poor gal just because I was wearing Heelys, man.
Almost killed the substitute.
Dude, Hooper, I don't know about you, buddy, but I think I kind of got to take a piss.
Yeah, I do too.
Same, actually.
I think it's time for a piss break.
Piss break!
Dun, 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 dun.
We'll be back in just a minute.
Be right back.
This episode is brought to you by
Us!
I'm Hooper,
And I'm Cooper.
and we run a demo studio in the greater Nashville area.
We're both singer-songwriters here in town, and we completely understand the struggle of having music that you want to share at pitches and to show to your friends, but Nashville demos are really expensive.
So we've come up with a business model that will never change.
$50 acoustic demos, $100 full band demos, studio quality, the highest level production you can find.
If this is something that suits you, reach out to us at Hoop and Coop Demos on Instagram.
That's Hoop, the letter N as in Nancy, Coop, demos.
On Instagram. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, we're going to get started back with a fun little segment we like to call Things that make dudes say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Some examples of this: starting a fire all by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
mowing the yard,
On the yard.
Hell yeah.
patting your pockets, and finding your phone, wallet, and keys.
Phone, wallet, keys, dude.
Mm.
Love it. Dude, for me, salami and cheese.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm eating it right now. I hope y'all can't hear it, but
Just know how good it is.
I wish y'all could taste this through the microphone, man. Kirkland, Costco, salami and cheese.
One for me, a beer that's colder than you expect. That's a hell yeah.
That's another hell yeah for sure.
Oh,
Absolutely.
dude, I gotta think.
I was thinking of one the other day. I wish I remember what it was.
An extra day off. Dude. Hell yeah.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
That's hell yeah. Dude, okay, one that I got for sure is when you're tying on a fishing lure and you do the wraparound hitch thing, and when you pull it tight and you see the coil pull together just perfectly. That's a good one.
I'd say that's the same when you're restringing a guitar and you get the perfect stack.
Perfect stack.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
I'm thinking of Waffle House All Star Special too. And that's what I'm thinking.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Absolutely.
Rediscovering a song that you forgot about. That's a hell yeah, for me.
Straight up. Literally this morning I listened to And It Feels Like I Am Just Too Close to Love You. And I was like,
Oh man.
That's a good one. This morning for me was Stoney LaRue.
okay.
Oh yeah, getting some old Red Dirt. I hadn't heard him in well over a year, and so some Stoney LaRue popped on this morning. Dude, the nostalgia hit. I was in my car. Hell yeah.
So into the Mystic, he got that one. He's got a few.
His live stuff's incredible to me. What are some hell yeahs from you?
I don't know. I guess the Waffle House All Star Special.
That's
sure.
a great one.
Hidden first tee box of the day. You pipe the drive straight.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a good one.
dude.
No breakfast ball. You just dime it
Dude,
right in the middle of the face. Just
that feels good.
that's a good one. You golf a lot?
Well, I have, and I wish that I would more, but
Yeah.
I actually haven't played in 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah.
I just been in work mode, but
Yeah.
but when I'm able to, and yeah, dude, heck yeah, I love
tea time
getting
on the
out
books,
there.
man. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
You said what?
Let's get a tea time on the books.
Dude, I need to bring my clubs up here too. I still got them in Alabama at my dad's, but I need to bring them up here and go play.
Yeah.
I've only played up here once. I can't even remember what the course was.
There's some great ones around here,
Yeah.
man. There's a lot of good
Yeah,
ones.
man. Well, one thing I noticed about Nashville is this is a place a lot of people. I mean, Tennessee people move here for taxes all the time, especially. But all these rich people move to Nashville, right? And what do they want to do? They want to freaking golf. Yeah. So there are some nice clubs here,
Dude, literally where I'm at in Smyrna, as you drive down Sam Ridley, there's one on this side, one on this side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's one that's right there by the Smyrna Airport. I played that one before. That's a great little course. It's cool. It's right behind the Smyrna Airport is where a lot of like the business jets come in.
Yeah.
So you see that, and you see some cool looking
I
planes.
need to go play over there. I'm trying to think of more things that make me say, hell yeah. A lot of things, man.
There's a lot of things.
Oh, a little dipski, rip a dipski.
The biggest freaking dip you ever seen in your life over there. Just freaking chucking in hogs. Love it, man.
That's always good for me. I like the sound of just a can opening. That's a hell yeah.
That's a hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Perfectly broken cowboy boots.
I agree with that. Freaking, dude, you just made me think of something. When you're, so this is weird, but I guess it's not weird, but pants, right? Freaking, there's something weird. I like if I like have been on one belt loop, but then I get to another one. Like after some time's passed and I've been like in gymming and eating good, and then I'm like, oh, I just moved a belt.
Yeah, there you
loop,
go.
dude.
That's a
Hell
great
yeah,
one.
man.
That's a great one, dude.
I've been cutting back on the carbs. You know, I've been bloated a bunch lately. I don't know what it is. I think it's just me getting older. You know?
Yeah.
I noticed it as I noticed more gray hairs forming, that I was also getting more bloated. So I think it's just age. But this past week, I've been real good about the carbs since Thanksgiving. And this morning at FedEx, I had to tighten my belt in the middle of the shift. My pants were falling down, and that was a good feeling.
Yeah.
That is a good feeling. That's a good hell yeah.
That's a great hell yeah.
Shedding some weight, dude. I've been trying to get on my back on my health kick and eating good and all that. The gym's easy, but the not eating bad is what kills me.
It's hard.
You're a busy fella too. I mean, you've got a lot going on. What do you do to keep balance? In, we've talked about how you got into music now, but like now that you're doing it, what do you do to keep balance? On the outside of playing bars and playing, having plenty of opportunity to do, bad calorie things. What's your balance?
Yeah. Well.
Or here's a better way to word it. What's your outlet outside of music?
Yeah. Well, dude, I freaking love. I love to just freaking watch football, college football, dude. That's my thing. My Auburn Tigers stink, man. We went 5-7, but we're pretty dang good at basketball. So I mean, just like watching sports for sure. I love to fish, man, but I just don't do it enough.
Tell me about it. I miss it so much.
I went dove hunting for the first time not too long ago.
Really?
Actually, I told my buddy that took me, I was like, dude, I might never play golf again. I said, this was awesome.
Dude, dove hunting's a good time.
The shit.
Yeah, dude, we're just hanging out and bringing every once in a while, bird.
That's the best part. It's the calmest. I'm not calmest. I'd say it's the most relaxed form of hunting. You like the least serious. I would say it's so enjoyable. Like you can just hang out with your bros.
Yeah, it was so much fun, and like you ain't got to be quiet like when you're deer hunting, and you're just freaking hanging out. And I didn't go deer hunting growing up. Like that's not my dad. Like he's not really like a hunter. So like growing up when we lived in Muscle Shoals and stuff, like well technically we live in Tuscumbia, which is right by Muscle Shoals. It's kind of like Smyrna, Laverne, like they.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean?
Yeah.
And we actually lived. We lived in this real little house, but it was on the river. So that was the thing. It was like a give and take. So
Yeah.
we were all squeezed in tight,
Yeah.
but we had the water
got the
right
water
behind
right
you,
there.
so it was perfect.
That's awesome.
And so I used to fish so much growing up, and then now it's like, well, dang, I got to go find somewhere to fish.
Right. That's my biggest struggle too, dude. Because I grew up right next to a pond and a river too, man. So now it's like you got to try.
I
Like,
think
I don't even know what to do anymore.
being a Tennessee native and I've been in town seems a little longer than you folk. I mean, that seriously, I got some spots. We'll hook something up.
Dude, let's go, man. I gotta go. I have not.
Yeah.
I hadn't fished at all in like 4 or 5 months.
I still haven't got you out on the lake,
Dude, I know. Yeah.
we've got a little place in East Tennessee. We'll. Oh, there's good golf course out that way too, towards Athens.
Dude, it sounds like we got a weekend.
Dude,
Yeah.
write some songs,
Yeah.
catch some
Oh.
fish, hit some.
Hell
Tell me
yeah.
about the retreat.
Yeah.
We got an
man.
off-camera thing for you. We'll talk about the retreat. I mean, we can do it a little on camera, but my family, we've got a cattle farm. It's been our family since my grandmother and grandfather bought it in late 50s, early 60s. That's where my mom grew up, and we've turned it into a songwriting retreat.
Dude,
It's awesome, man. We went out there with Hunter Dickey and Dustin Polk, Tanner Jackson. We man,
Yeah.
it's
TJ?
a great space.
Dude, I
We just
still-
had
Dude,
Dude,
oh,
I
you know,
still
Tanner.
ain't met him in person.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
we Snapchat like we're best friends.
Dude, oh,
We'll get y'all together for sure.
Oh,
but
for sure.
Yeah, we talked about this last episode too, but he cut a song that we wrote there at that retreat.
Yeah, Tennessee T-shirt.
Tennessee T-shirt.
Oh, dude, it's a smash.
Dude, it's such a fun song, man.
Okay, cool.
It's a good place for inspiration. We'll get something working.
Yeah.
there.
It's great, man. It's a big house, like a lot of open space to hang out, and like the back patio.
Yeah.
Dude, it's great, man. It's a vibe.
Margaret's
out
at Benton Farms. I will plug that.
there. Go get you some of her orange cookies.
Yeah.
Man. Oh my god.
Okay, then. I hear
Top 5 best things I've ever eaten in my life is.
Those cookies
They're
will make
cookies.
you say hell yeah.
Dude, they would. I think I did, and I'm like, I did not mean to say hell yeah, Miss Gerald's. I'm sorry.
She says it too. It's all right.
I try to keep the words clean around this blessed home.
Well, one thing we did there was a campfire, and we sang campfire songs. So
That
I'm
was
curious.
awesome. Yeah.
What is your campfire song? What strikes you? Like when you sit down and play with just your friends, what's that first song?
See, so that's the thing. This is my buddies. My buddies come hear me all the time, and also like going back to the things I like to do. Like for me, it's I'm not good at the balance thing, so I just go until I'm like, oh no, I need a break, and then I take my break, and I make sure to spend time with my family and my friends from home, and just do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? And that's good enough for me in itself.
Cool.
Just because I'm not at a point yet. I'm in work mode of my life, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it, man.
after I leave here, I got to go do content, and then I got to go write a song. You know, and tomorrow I'm gonna write a song, and then I'm gonna go back to Alabama and play a show.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that's just kind of how I've been doing it because I don't know. I like to stay busy. I don't know.
That's good. Yeah.
Awesome.
But like seeing my friends, hanging out with my friends, that's from back home, and my family. That's a big one. So when I'm with my friends, dude, they've heard me play a bajillion times. So when we have fires and stuff, a couple times I pull out a guitar, but most of the time when I do, it's like they're like, "What's new that you've written?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like now, I will say I am always the aux guy. And so I'll bring my Bluetooth.
Dude, you gotta be goated on aux, man. Just based on your style, like, yeah, I know that you got this. You got the good shit on deck.
We do a lot of sad country songs when we're chilling by the fire. You know,
Love it.
My friends they give me a hard time because I can't share the aux. I won't do it. I refuse. Like it's so bad. So if someone else has the aux, I take it over. Like even if it's on their phone, I'm like, oh, play this next. Oh, play this after that. You know, like I'll build the cue in my head.
you want to set the vibe, man.
yeah.
And the thing is, like, this isn't a cocky thing. This is just, it's our job. It is literally our job to know this stuff. We're so educated on music that it's not fair. You know, like our music taste is going to be curated beyond, just your average listener.
Well, and a lot of my buddies, thankfully now, like understand, like like new stuff. My infatuation with new music that like nobody's ever heard. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if it has 0 streams. If it's new and it's something I've never heard before, I want to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know, because like it's different than something that's ever been put out. You know?
Right.
I love the feeling of being like, man, I've listened to them since they started.
Yeah.
Like I got that feeling real big with White Flores.
Yeah.
Like, when he popped off, I've been listening to him since his first single. And his first single popped off. Like he's done good since the beginning. But like I remember like showing my friends that stuff, and then I saw him, you know, play live, and it was like line out the freaking door just to get in. It's like, man, that's awesome. Like it's cool. Like it was a gratification for me almost being a fan. You know, because I'd seen him since freaking 4 monthly listeners or whatever.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, my brother sent me. He told me, he's like, you got to watch this video. This guy one of my buddies just randomly found it on his YouTube, and he's like, you got to watch this video. And it was Zach Bryan playing Heading South outside of his barracks. And dude, it might be my memory playing tricks on me, but if I remember the way I remember it, it had like 3,000 views, like crazy. And then you hear everything else that's ever come of Zach Bryan since then. And man, that's such a good feeling. And as an artist too, like that's one thing that I love about the dynamic of music today, especially country music, independent country music, is people are chasing that. I think more now than they ever have. People want to be on the train whenever somebody that they hear and they like starts to really make it.
The big time like fans, of like people who really are gonna like go to shows and like want to grow with an artist, like those people are digging more now than ever. Yeah,
for sure.
But it's cool because we can with Spotify.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
man, it's so easy. It's so easy for us to be able to get our stuff out there.
I found Ernest when he had like, I don't know, like 60,000 monthly listeners or something, and it was locals only, and I was like, this album is insane. This guy's insane. And then I like was digging, and then you know, I was like, oh snap, like he did have a big cut at the time, and I figured out what that was, but I can't remember what it was. But dude, and then now he's freaking
Ernest.
ginormous.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Future mayor of Nashville.
He just played, you know, sold out show with Jelly Roll here in town, like massive. Brought out Morgan, you know, and like that's just crazy. Like to think, like, I mean, hell, was it, you know, less than 15 years ago he was in high school here.
Wild. He's Mr. Nashville, man.
He is.
He's got a son named Ryman.
Yeah,
that's like capstone, man. Pinnacle. What a sick name, dude.
he may
what a
be
crazy
mayor
name
one
for a
day
child.
if he keeps on.
I think so too.
He's
No,
on
he
my
did.
boat.
He did an interview with somebody where like they asked him like, "What changes would you make to Nashville?" And he rattled off like 5 things, like a freaking pro, dude. Like
he's PR trained, dude.
Yeah, he's got it down.
Dude, he definitely gets some songwriters some more money. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
It's deserved.
I can get behind some Ernest. I mean, it's good.
All of them, man. That whole crew, like you said, Ernest and Hardy and Morgan, like that. You only hope that you could build a camp and build a crew of dudes that you just really rock with like
Ernest's
that.
band, they are insane. He
Really?
has some talent with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And old boy that plays steel,
he's a child.
Walters, dude.
Yeah,
he's like
freaking
21.
Yeah, he played on Post Malone's tour, right? Yeah,
They used to
dude.
sneak him in the back of bars so he could play their shows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a legend too.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So you don't really play around the campfire. All your homies already heard your songs. What's your number one? Like, what's your song like for you? Like you like to cover? You know, like you're gonna play this. It's somebody else that's been an inspiration to you, maybe.
Yeah. We'll say like you're out at a party somewhere that you like one of your buddies drags you out to a party or something, and you're surrounded by 20 people you've never met, and somebody just like, and one of them starts playing a song on a guitar, they pass it around to somebody else, and then you get handed the guitar. None of them ever heard you. Which song you gonna play?
Oh snap! I like to do swinging.
Swing on the front porch, just a swinging.
There's a little girl in our neighborhood.
Oh, good.
Her name is Charlotte Johnson, and she's really looking good. I like to do that
You want
one.
to give us a taste of
That's a
it?
good one.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
do it.
dude, man, get the guitar out. Love it.
Let's see what you got hot.
Oh yeah.
Let's get that mic.
Oh yeah. Here, I'll just give you mine.
Is it standard?
It's half step down. You want a guitar pick?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Cooper, you're still your camera. Oh, yeah, that's...
No. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Come on.
Oh, there's a little girl in our neighborhood. Her name is Charlotte Johnson, and she's really looking good. I had to go and see her, so I called her on the phone. Walked over to her house, and this was going on. Her brother was on the sofa eating chocolate pie. Her mama was in the kitchen cutting chicken up to fry. Her daddy was in the backyard rolling up a garden hose. I was on the porch with Charlotte feeling love down to my toes, and we were swinging. There it is. Yeah, we've been swinging. Yeah, little Charlotte, she's as pretty as the angels when they sing. And I can't believe I'm out here on her front porch and a swing, just a swinging. You know, love that.
Heck yeah,
What
man.
a jam. I love
Dude,
it.
yeah.
You make it sound like it's your song, dude.
Oh, well, I can't sing it like him. He does all that. Dude, he was at the, I went to the Nashville, the Songwriters Hall of Fame Gala thing or whatever. And,
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he came out and played, and he did Redneck Girl.
Really?
The Bellamy.
Dang,
Dave Bellamy was getting inducted, and he was, give me a redneck girl. I was like, yes!
That's awesome. Dude,
It was awesome.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Do you have? That's another question I think I like to ask for sure. Is do you have is there like a concert that stands out to you? Like, whether it's your first concert, your favorite concert you ever been to, some like just a show that had a big impact on you?
Well, my first concert that I ever went to, my mom took me. And it was just me and her, and it was the Temptations and the Four Tops.
Cool, man.
And you know, they didn't have every original member because some of them had passed and you know, that kind of thing. But that was pretty awesome.
Man,
And
that's cool.
like a lot of my like roots stuff is like the Motown soul stuff, as well as like the old country. It's like, I don't know, I love old music.
yeah.
I don't know, there's something about it, man. Sometimes I think, you know, a lot of stuff nowadays, it's almost like too good. We're not too good, but like it's too
Polished.
Yeah, you know, I think rawness is important. Which, like, you know, I mean, we clean up my stuff and make it pretty, but you know, at the same time, I try not to be a person that does like 30 vocal takes. You know what I mean? You know, we do 3 or 4, and then we'll comp them together. But like, you know, I don't know It's just there's, and that's another thing. Like, I don't know that I've always got exactly the exact sound that I want out of everything. But the main reason being that it's expensive to record music.
Oh,
Tell me about
Dude,
it. Tell me
what
about
I
it.
want to do more than anything is take 4 weeks, take a month, and bring in a bunch of people that I've written the songs with, a bunch of players that I love, and like my friends, and try out 75 different guitar tones and amps,
Right.
and just like
Yes.
take our time, you know.
Yes.
But like the reality of it is, I'm an independent artist. Like, you know, I don't have millions of dollars from Sony that can like help me make that possible. You
Right.
know what
Right.
I mean? But one day, that's something that I want to do for sure. I love the old music, man. I love the sounds, analog recording stuff.
do.
Man, it's just good.
When you think of like old country music, what's that like? That artist or that record, like, is there one that like stands out to you? Like yeah, like this is it. You know, I'll give you an example. So, Jimmy Rogers wrote a bunch of old train songs, and they're freaking awesome, right? And Merle Haggard covered a ton of them, and he put a huge compilation out, and I have it sitting right over there. It's like literally on my record player right there, the corner. And that is like the peak of country music for me. It's like Merle Haggard, you know, yodeling Jimmy Rogers song. That's the coolest thing in the world. And I can't beat it in my mind. What is it? You got one like that for you?
I don't necessarily know that I have like a record like that. But definitely, dude, I can hear my granddaddy freaking singing "I Believe in You" by Don Williams, man.
Don Williams. Oh my gosh, that's a great one.
That song, man, he didn't have to say nothing. It's similar to like the Riley Green, like "I Wish Grandpa's Never Died,"
Right.
Because he's just making statements the whole time. He's making statements. I don't believe in superstars, organic food, and foreign cars, and like he's just saying stuff like, "These are the things I don't believe in, but I believe in you." Like, you know what I mean, dude?
So good.
The women freaking, oh my gosh! But it's
perfect.
It's such a beautiful,
That's a freaking firework, dude. That's on red.
Yes.
It's one of my favorites ever.
I think the same thing. Lord, I hope this day is good. Don Williams. That's another just, Lord, I hope this day is good. I'm feeling empty, misunderstood. I should be thankful, Lord. I know I should, but Lord, I hope this day is good. Like, that's country, man.
Yeah.
It
is just the truth.
It's simple.
It's just simple.
It's true.
And I love it.
Those are all my favorites, man. But actually, you know, like because of my granddad, like a lot of that old country stuff I love, and like but then as time went by for me, I started to, like, growing up, I like didn't like country that much. Because like my dad and my mom would play all this different kind of stuff, and they would play, like, my mom would play, you know, the Sugarland stuff, and that was awesome, and
baby girl.
dude, yeah,
Dude, I played when I moved to Nashville. I was with my girlfriend, and we left our house at like 4:30 in the morning to drive because I made a trip with a U-Haul, came back, got my car, we drove, and I'm like, I have something that I need to do. My girlfriend's all excited, and I play "Baby Girl" by Sugarland, and I'm sitting there 10 and 2. It's 4:45 in the morning. I'm bawling my eyes out. Like, I'm gonna make you proud, Mama. I swear I'm gonna make you proud.
but that's real.
I'm gonna be staying at the Ritz wearing diamonds and pearls, Mama.
But that song, man, like, that's another song. Like, those are some of the greatest freaking songs, dude.
Amazing, man.
But like my mom would play the Sugarland and the Billy Currington, man. Woman is a mystery. Oh, dude.
Damn. Hell yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
like that stuff. And then my dad was playing the other stuff. But then when I was with my grandparents, they would turn it on 102.1 WDRM, the country station down there. And they would leave it. And they would not change the station at all. And my dad is like, if my dad don't like a song, next. He'll skip through the whole. He'll go 3 times through till something comes on that he wants to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which now it's a little different with, you know, Spotify and YouTube, which
Right.
is great.
Right.
But like my grandparents just leave it on 102.1, dude. And at the time when I was like, you know, would be riding around with them, dude, it'd just be the, you know, the 2010 like radio country is not my favorite stuff.
Yeah, it'd be different if it was like a 70s, 80s, 90s country radio station, for sure.
You know,
but I get that for sure.
But it made me go like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know about this stuff. And then Chris Stapleton.
I was about to say.
And I went, oh, I see.
I get it.
And dude, he kind of brought me back. And I was like, okay, I do really like this stuff. There is stuff with substance and real, like, I always thought people in country, like, I always thought the country music, like, a lot of the people then, like, weren't great singers. And I'm not saying that I'm a world beater of a singer, but like, Stapleton sang in a way that was, like, not just talking. You know what I mean?
Right.
He
Good
sang.
point. Yeah.
And
He sang.
and I was like, okay, this I get it. And then that grew and then went from there. But then when I started putting the songs out and write my own, it was the MP3 thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I was using YouTube beats because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like I showed up at this.
It was accessible, is what you could do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, Daniel Caesar type beat. I like him, Khalid, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so then I would write songs over that. But then on my guitar, I was still writing the Southern rock stuff. And like, you know, it's like, okay. It's like, whatever. I'm just doing music because I love to do music.
Yeah.
And then I went and did the American Idol thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was right after I'd first come to Nashville, like maybe a month or 2 months previously. And I went and did the American Idol thing, and it was kind of what I expected, but it was even more like show busy. You know what I mean? Like cameras in your face, like you just got told no, you're like an 18-year-old kid, and they're like putting stuff in your face. My mom had to sign this paperwork that basically said they could say whatever they want about her with no repercussions. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, and I mean, I didn't even sign the stuff because I was like, I don't like this. It's weird. If they give me a yes, it's sure, maybe I'll do it. And maybe that's why they told me no. I don't know. It doesn't matter because I'm here now and I'm happy where I'm at. Right. But like when I got back from that, I wrote a song called A Little More Nashville. And it was like a little less Hollywood, a little more Nashville. And the first line is like, the West Coast is beautiful until you meet the people behind the scenes. And
Daggone, that's a line.
And then that was just kind of like, we're doing the Nashville thing, you know. And I was already writing Southern rock and country songs, but it just made me want to do it even more because I was like, these people in this town, which don't get me wrong, I mean, there's snakes in the grass everywhere that you are. But this is a much more safe place and more genuine and honest than out there.
Dude, I've met more good people than Dad here, and I can't say that about anywhere else.
Yeah.
People here seem to genuinely care. Like, I get to go and sit and have coffee with my heroes. I've written songs with guys that, like, I've listened to their music since I was born.
Yeah.
You know, and like, you know, I've heard these stories and I've gotten encouragement from the people I've looked up to. Whereas, like, in every other aspect of, you know, reality, you can't just go up and talk to those people. You can't just go, you know, like, if I was in Hollywood and I saw, you know, I mean, anybody, mega superstar, whatever his name is, like, you can't just go and approach them on the street. Like, they're gonna shun you off. But here,
or security,
right? And I'll shout him out to the day I die, because I mean, he was like the first like songwriter I really looked up to that just like immediately just like, yeah, man, like, come have coffee with me. Let me tell you like some knowledge. Let me learn you something. Was Billy Montana. I mean, he's my hero. Like, I've always looked up to him as a songwriter, and he wrote, you know, some of the songs that like got me really into country music. You know,
he wrote smashes.
Oh my gosh! Like, and his son too. Like, it's just in their blood.
Randy,
yeah,
dude.
Oh my goodness. But Billy, like, he had no reason, like, not a single one, to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna bet on this kid, and I'm gonna, you know, just like, he hasn't handed me anything, but he just has bestowed some knowledge on me and encouraged me continuously, you know, and like, he has no reason to do that, but he did it just because that's him, you know. And I feel like you don't see that in
well, dude, when I found out, dude, they have lawyers in the room and they're co-writes, bro.
Dude, I've learned about that recently too, man. They're going line by line, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What kind of stuff is
Yeah,
that? Bro,
right.
In Nashville split. That's why they
Nashville
call
split,
it
baby.
Nashville
Yeah.
split.
Say a word, get a third, man.
Think
It's
about
literally,
think
man.
about how many songs we've written that I can probably list 5 of the songs we've written together that you've written 90% of, and I've just been in the room but because we were there together, it's
Exactly. And so many
It's
people
the
don't give
presence.
enough credit to the to what having somebody else in the room does to the creative process. I was explaining this to my mom when I was down and hanging out for Thanksgiving. She's like, "How does that work? How does it work splitting all that stuff up?" I'm like, "Well, like I said, or like you said, Caleb, in LA, they have lawyers sitting there breaking down every single line. I'm like, that isn't fair because even if there is somebody in the room, them just being there is going to be something like, wow, okay, this person is wearing a red shirt. Red shirt. That's what you do when it's your first year playing football. Football is where I grew up around a lot of football stuff. Think about my hometown, driving to a football game, Interstate 80, going to Lincoln, Nebraska. I don't know if that's y'all's process about how it just your thought process just veer
think about
off
our
somewhere.
right, that's what
Yeah.
it was. It was just spitballing.
Yeah,
dude. If
exactly.
you tried to go through and measure the creativity that was in that room, if you tried to put a scale on it, you could not. I mean, you couldn't contain it because, some of the things I said didn't turn into lines, but they turned into the next idea that he came up with.
Right.
Became the line.
And everybody has a role in a room, and it's valuable. It's equally as valuable as the other people in the room.
Right.
And it's like for you to come into a room and say like, no, this person did more than this person. It's like that's not what we're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're creating something together.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what we're
exactly.
doing.
Yeah.
The honest truth, if there's a real disparity in a room where there's one person who's writing a song and there's one person who's not, you're not going to finish the song. You're just going to move on. You're going to go get a beer and call it a day.
True.
That's the Nashville way.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't want to finish the route, you're going to go get a beer and you're going to move on.
Right. Exactly.
Pretty much.
So that's just, I like that Nashville works that way, man. And I do like that people here want to finish songs too, though.
Right.
That's a big thing. Like I've been in some co-writes where it's like they don't care if we ever touch it again. They don't have an encouragement to finish what they started. I love getting in a write, and we're both like, I'll sit here till 2 a.m. I don't care. We're gonna finish this song.
I gotta hammer it, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm also a person that like doesn't. I don't love to go back to songs, and it's interesting because I have a lot of like friends and co-writers that are like they go back and like touch up, but for me, I'm like, let's get it right now.
Yeah.
So that and like finish this thing up, But I don't know.
see both sides of it. If I don't finish a song and I wrote it with somebody else, right? We stopped at the bridge or whatever. If they finished it without me, I am not mad. Like I will. It does not hurt my feelings. Like please.
Yeah.
Because if we weren't going to get it done together, please get it done. Like
Yeah.
and I've done that a few times where like we're finished right and like we had an awesome idea and the song was going to turn out really well, but like we just got killed in the moment.
Yeah.
I'll go back and finish the song. I don't care. It doesn't hurt my feelings. But yeah, once I like put the stamp of approval on it, I don't think twice about it.
Yeah.
Unless maybe like I don't know. This has happened when you were recording. Where like last second it didn't sound right singing it like in the studio, and then you just tweak one word or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I like, dude. Signed, sealed, delivered. Let's just
Yeah.
get it out there.
Like a fool, I stay too long.
All right, man. What's going on like right now? What do your fans have to look forward to coming up?
Man.
Or what do people that are just hearing from you for the first time now have to look forward to?
If they weren't fans before this, they're going to be afterwards.
Yeah, I hope so.
Straight up.
Please. But no,
What's early 2025 look like? You got some stuff people are ready to hear.
I just recorded. There's a thing called the Nashville Sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I've seen that.
You should do them.
Yeah, dude, I actually met up with them at like a pitch meeting or something like that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. They're fun to work with.
Dude, man, they're super cool and
Cool.
and like they're just nice and it's you literally go on their thing, you click it, you pick a date and a time, you go in there, you pay them the money, they video you and they mix it. It's just live pretty much,
Cool.
They'll touch you up a little bit, and I'm about to put those out, so it's gonna be like a 3-song acoustic EP.
Sweet.
And I'm just waiting to get the videos back. I've got all the audio stuff, but I think I haven't decided exactly when yet, but probably early January 25. I'll put that out. It'll be an acoustic EP. And I'll get that out there. But right now, I'm really focused on the riding side, man. I'm trying to get a publishing deal.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a while, and I'm going to continue to do it, the artist side. But I just need like a little bit more stability.
Mm-hmm.
And
and you're a damn good songwriter, dude.
I'm about to start go. I'm about to go. I'm about to start asking for a publishing deal here pretty soon, because I have so many songs in my phone, dude, that I'm never gonna put out.
Heard that.
They're I think they're really good songs, but maybe they're just not me. And it's like, why not send them somebody else and get some mailbox money?
There you go. Yeah, man.
So
I mean, those songs deserve love too.
Yeah,
you know?
I think so. Yeah. I think so. So that's kind of like my main focus. But I am going to put this acoustic EP out, and then I am also working on a couple other things, but I don't have a date or set time, because like I told you guys, like I think I finally am getting honed in on the sound that I really want and what I want to say, and I just don't want to rush it this time.
Yeah.
So that may take a little longer, but I'll make sure to get some stuff out in the meantime. Definitely gonna put the acoustic EP out in January, and then kind of see where we're at with the other stuff I've been working on. I got 2 or 3 that we've already started in the studio, but I just want to make sure they're right.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep playing some shows, whole lot of acoustic stuff.
You got some dates for shows that people can check you out on. I don't know how far you're planned out or anything, but or if not, do you got a good place everybody can find you?
Well, if you hit me on Instagram, all my social media stuff's at the Caleb Mills.
The Caleb Mills.
So on Instagram, I put a lot of the like dates and stuff. Friday, December 20th. When are y'all getting this up?
It'll be New Year.
Okay.
It'll be in the New Year.
January the 3rd. Well, maybe. January 3rd playing Moe's Providence. January 17th, Moe's Providence. January 24th with Joe Bryson, Jefferson Street Pub.
Hey, there's an MT kid.
All those are in Huntsville, Alabama. He is a monster. Joe Bryson is the man.
Yeah,
that's
really.
what I know.
Is he from Huntsville?
Girl, if tonight was a marble eye.
He's got a voice on him, don't he?
Dude, he's so good.
He's
from
boy.
He's from Louisiana, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
He's a cool cat.
But yeah,
That's
that's what I'm doing.
Heck
Trying to keep staying busy, keep my nose to the grindstone,
Yeah.
keep
And
my
out of the pills.
eyes clear and my heart.
Yeah.
What is it? What do they say in Friday Night Lights?
Dude, I literally watched that movie last night, and as soon as you said that, I'm trying to remember that.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Right. Yeah. God, what a movie, man.
Well, do you want to give the fans a taste of anything new you've been working on?
Yeah, dude, I can play. I can play one of the ones that is coming on the EP.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let it eat, dude.
Dude, it's called Why I Drink. It's one of my favorite songs I've written in this town. I've been wanting to get it out for a while, so I'm glad I finally will. Am I good?
Yeah.
Cool. This is Why I Drink. I met a man at happy hour, but he didn't seem happy to me. He said, hey son, if you want one, they got 2 for $5 Jim Beam. And the food's alright, but it's better Tuesday nights when the hand's behind the grill. And And that jukebox eats quarters sometimes, don't even try dollar bills. If this bar could talk, it'd tell you I'm here a lot more than home. The folks around here say I'm just a drum, but what do they know? I lost my dad when I was 12, started raising hell and raising myself. Dropped out of school and wound up in jail. Had to call my uncle to pay my bill. He shipped me off to join the Corps. Came back a lot different than I was before. Guess there's only so much a man could take, and that's why I drink. Well, he said, I still remember when I was the luckiest man alive. Well, here's a picture of me and a wife living that white picket fence life. Yeah, sometimes things don't go the way we plan. But hey, bartender, can I get another for me and my new friend? He said, I lost our house in 08, worked 3 jobs just so the bills were paid. She still ran off and took them kids, made it hard for me to see them ever since. Now they're grown up and moved away, I don't really get to see them much these days. Guess there's only so much a man could take, and that's why I drink. Most of the time things ain't what they seem, and it ain't true just 'cause it's what you think. Guess I'm just saying there's only so much that one man can take. Well, I don't know about you, but that's why I drink. I met a man at happy hour, but he didn't seem happy to me. He said, hey son, if you want one, they got 2 for $5 Jim Beam.
Oh my God.
That rips.
Dude,
Holy crap.
that is one of the best songs I've heard in the last few years, man. Genuinely.
My gosh.
Wow. Losing the house in 08, that line, it gave me goosebumps, man. She took the kids and she's made it harder to see him ever since. The way that you deliver that, man, too. Oh my gosh.
I'm shell shocked, dude. No, I'm a fan.
Let's go.
I'm genuinely impressed. Holy
Man.
crap.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks, y'all.
That was incredible, man.
Yeah, man, I've been wanting to put that out for a while.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wrote that with Mr. Richie Brown, Mr. Michael Warren. Shout them out. They're dogs, dude.
Heck yeah.
And yeah.
Man, writing songs like that, I need to meet him. Holy crap.
Shoot, when did that one come around?
Oh man, maybe a year ago.
Wow. It's coming to fruition now, man. Looking forward to hearing it. Looking forward to being out, man. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, man. Wow. What
I,
a song.
I think our time here's coming to an end, but
Cool.
It is.
Well,
Man.
dude, thank y'all for letting me do this.
Dude, man, this is a blast, man.
dude, we got to have you back on, man.
Yeah.
We'll schedule another day
We'll
for us.
have, we'll have to bring Dad.
Dude,
Yeah, no, for real, man. We ought to.
Dude, he would be like, "What?
What a podcast?
What even is that?" No, I'm just kidding. He likes podcasts.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
dude.
Well, we look forward to it, man. We're looking forward to seeing, what you got going on in the new year, and man, we got to write a song.
Come on, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's go fishing. Hit some golf.
Let's go
balls,
fishing,
write
hit some golf
songs.
balls,
Drop
write
down.
some songs, go eat Margaret's, or go eat Mama Gerald's
Orange cookies.
orange
That's what you
cookies,
said?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, orange cookies.
Heck yeah, a lot to look forward to.
We got our work cut
All right.
out for us, man.
Well, this has been Hoop and Coop with Caleb Mills.
Yeah.
Hell
Thanks
yeah.
again, brother.
Later.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.